The Brickstore Museum decided to put on a Christmas exhibition this year because it complements our Civil War exhibit. The reason being, obviously the Civil War was in the 1860s, and we've set our Christmas as a Victorian Christmas in the 1880s, kind of happening right after everyone got home from the war. When, families woke up on Christmas Day, kids would see their stockings or see what was under the tree for them, but then people wouldn't necessarily get together in their own homes with their family. There were things called Christmas festivals, which were hosted by every church in town every year, and then people would normally go to that instead of, like we do, congregating in our relative's house or something like that. It was 1848 that a man in our town, Captain Thompson, who lived on Summer Street, he had the first Christmas tree in his house in 1848, even if Maine didn't necessarily recognize Christmas until 1871. I think we all wonder a little bit about how on earth you would light a candle or on a Christmas tree, but that's what they did because they didn't necessarily have electricity at that time, and so, the moment the sun went down, you couldn't even see the tree or anything like that. So obviously closely supervised, but they did hang their candles in little holders that went right on the branch on the tree, and it would stay lit for a little while. The only people who received gifts on Christmas were little kids, not adults. Victorians were connected to kind of assigning meaning to whatever they gave. If you look around at these board games and things over here, those were popular games, but you can still see that they were kind of handmade. People would hear about a game and perhaps start making the actual pieces for the board game, months ahead of time, and then give, their son or daughter whatever game they made over the year. And then children would receive more presents when I believe it was in the 1860s anyway, that they started having a Santa Claus actually arrive at these festivals. And the first Santa Claus in Kennebunk was played by a man named John Clement Lord, who was a Civil War veteran. So he arrived back from war and he dressed up, drink as well as cooking, and there's a rum cakes that used to be served. So turkeys, hams like we have over here, fruit if they had it, vegetables, every single piece of food that you could think of. It was usually described as kind of an overflowing buffet of food, which is kind of, it's nice to think of.
Kennebunk TV, telling the story of a great community that is making a difference.